everybody, this is Andrew, also known as NatureMan. Today we're going to be talking about my Oxalis plant, my purple Oxalis to be specific, and how you can have yours live for years and years to come. The purple Oxalis, or green Oxalis, whichever variety that you have, is a perennial, not an annual. Now, you may be wondering, what is an annual and a perennial? An annual is a plant that lives for one season then dies. A perennial is a plant that comes back year after year. Now, if a plant is a perennial, it's outside. If you assume that, and that it comes back year after year, you would be correct. Well, if it's a perennial outside, how do you make it live indoors? And that is an excellent question. Most plants that are perennials need what we call a cold dormancy period. So trees will drop their leaves and they'll go to sleep, or we have herbaceous perennials that die to the ground and then in the spring come back from the ground. Well, with a Oxalis, it is the same. This is hardy to USDA zone 6. And in the video, I'm going to show a map right here, what a USDA zone map is and what is USDA zone 6 is. Zone 6 is the coldest limit of the plant's survival. It's your average coldest temperature you can see. So USDA zone 6 sees the coldest average temperatures of between -10 Fahrenheit and -5 Fahrenheit. Anything colder than that will kill the plant entirely and it won't come back as a perennial. Meaning if you're in a zone 5, a zone 4, a zone 3, etc., it is considered an annual, meaning it would not survive in your cold climate. However, if you're in a colder climate, or maybe you simply are and it's growing zone, but you want to keep it indoors year round, there is a way you can do that. With the purple Oxalis, they don't necessarily need a quote-unquote cold dormancy. You can induce a dormancy without freezing temperatures. And I'm going to show you how to do that in today's video. All right, now, let's say it's St. Patrick's Day or February, and the stores, the big box stores, your local garden center, they're coming out with these Oxalis in time for the spring. Everyone has them around St. Patrick's Day, sometimes as early as January or February. Right after Christmas, people move right into spring. You know how it is. And you keep yours all summer long, and now we're coming into fall, trees are dropping their leaves. This is the time, October, depending on your climate, between September and November is the time of year to let yours dry out. What I do, it is now late October 2024. Back in early October, I stopped watering my Oxalis. It has been over 3 weeks without any water. And this thing was lush and full. I'm gonna show it a little closer to the camera. You can see that crinkling sound? It's dried out and it is looking kind of sickly. You're thinking, oh, it's dying. No, it's actually going dormant. It's going to sleep. And it doesn't necessarily require freezing temperatures. Some perennials need freezing temperatures or colder temperatures to go dormant. Now, this can do that. You can leave it outside if you're in a zone 6, 7, 8, 9, like between Georgia and Indiana, for example. If you're in that zone 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, you can use Oxalis as an outdoor perennial. However, they can go dormant with a dry season. Typically, springs are wet and falls are drier. So basically, you induce what it does in the wild. You allow it to go dry. I have not watered this, I repeat myself, in 3 weeks. So, I have let it dry out and I have basically let it wilt. Now that it's wilted and completely bone dry, I'm going to cut all the remaining living and dead foliage off of the plant. You're going to watch me. I'm going to cut the remaining. Again, it's been 3 weeks. You can wait 4 or 5 weeks if you want. But I just let it completely dry out because if I try to cut it back after watering it, it's just going to re-sprout again. I'm not saying this won't send out a couple sprouts because it still has some moisture left in the tubers or in the roots, but at least I know that I'm not going to get aggressive growth this time of year. And all we're left is the stumps. See that? Now, I've been growing this for almost 4 years, doing the same thing, letting it dry out in the fall and clipping it back, letting it go dormant and waking it up in the spring. I've been doing it for 4 years and this plant has grown tremendously. It started out as a little 2-inch pot. Now it's in an 8-inch and I just keep dividing and I've actually divided it. They produce what are called corms, C-O-R-M-S, corms. They're like little potatoes, they're little tubers. Those hold the moisture and hold the plant alive. The tubers form the roots, and the tubers or the corms form the new shoots in the spring. You can take those little corms out, propagate them, and make more shamrock plants. It's really cool, because every year it divides. It produces more and more corms. So basically this pot is probably full of corms. And I can either do it now or later in the winter, but I can divide these corms, make more plants, but we're not doing that in today's video. I just thought I'd bring that up for you. This is all I have to do, and I can put this in a dark closet. Again, you do not water it, you don't want to stimulate it to grow. And I let it go several months, but again, I don't wait until the temperature outside is warm, like April or May. I will wait until late winter, mid to late winter, to wake it up from dormancy. So it is now again late October. It is going quickly into a dormancy period. Once we hit between mid-January and early February, so that's pretty much the middle of winter here in Indiana, I will wake it from dormancy. So by the time we hit St. Patrick's Day in March, it is lush and growing. I'm not going to wait till March to wake this thing from dormancy. I'm not going to have a lush plant in time for St. Patrick's Day. So when I have company or friends or family over, I have a lush, full shamrock plant in time for St. Patrick's Day and Easter. So basically, late between mid-January and early February, I will wake it from dormancy, allow it to grow, and it'll be full. Now, one question you may ask: how do you awake a plant from dormancy? Take it out of your dark closet, put it in a bright sunny window or under a grow light, start watering it. Water it a couple times a week. Within probably 2 weeks or so, you'll start to see sprouts. It'll take a little while. Well, after 2-ish weeks, you'll start to see sprouts. After a month, you'll start to have a lot of sprouts. And within 2 months, you'll have a full plant. I will try to do an update video on this in the spring. This is NatureMan signing off. Bye.